Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the weekend banger. It's time for the weekend banger, y'all. That's a lock. It's time for the weekend banger, and I got one. I keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start these videos off, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out here working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out here with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the mornings, and I promise y'all, it's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, though, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. Come on, man. Y'all trying to get locked up this summer? Y'all trying to get locked up, period? I'm never going back to that place, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm never going back. They say never. I am never going back to that place. That place is up, man. That place ain't right. I'm letting you know now, when you get locked up and you experience that lifestyle, it's not right, fellas. It's not right, ladies. I'm telling you, man, you're going to regret of getting in that trouble, man. You always do. Everybody that go in there, the people that got a chance to get out again and have another life, they be the ones that in there, they die, regret what they done. You have people going there. You have some people take going home for granted, man. But I'm telling you, man, the ones that got a chance to get back out there, man, they really regret what they done, man. So you can do it right now. You can tell yourself right now, look yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what, man, I'm going to listen to Staying Out the Way, Trey. And I'm going to stay out the way, man, because living the life of staying out the way is a beautiful life, man. If you out here breaking the law, trying to leave your family, man, something is wrong with you, man. You need to think about it. I know some people out here breaking the law because they got to make money. They got to hustle to take care of their family. But that's not really taking care of your family. It's taking care of your family for the time being, man. They're going to come get you sooner or later, man. The next thing you know, they're going to be taking care of you. And that's not right, man. So turn your life around, people, right now, man. And stay out the way, y'all. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the weekend banger. So what I need y'all to do is like, share, subscribe, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But it's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called He Kept Making Excuses. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We in penitentiary, man, where crazy things happen all the time. But I'm telling y'all, man, there's so many people in there that'll do stupid stuff and won't hold themselves accountable, man. Like sometimes you gotta hold yourself accountable, man, because one wrong move in there, man, can end up in violence, man. You gotta be able to walk straight in there without starting a whole bunch of drama, man. Dudes that be in there causing a whole bunch of drama, you gotta watch out for those people, man, because every time it's something that's gonna happen, man. There's always something bad that's gonna happen, y'all. So with that being said, though, we on Sussex 2 for this, y'all. We on Sussex 2. And I can remember being in 4C for this one, y'all. We in 4C for this, man. And this was a time when I just had got out the hole, man, for my third dirty on, man. I had 5 of them joints up there, man. I had a bunch of them joints, man, but I'm on my third joint. And I got out the hole, they put me in 4C, man. I just was in 4D, but now I'm in 4C, man. But like, going over to 4C, it was like a beautiful thing because I was still next door to the pod I was familiar to, which was 4D. Now I'm a 2C type of guy, but like still, I was in 4D for like a year too. So like going to next door, it made sense. Like I just felt better. Like it felt like I was still in the place where I just left. So coming off from a dirty on, I don't have no visits. I can't get none of that. Like you still can go to commissary and all that, but your penalty is 6 months with no visit. So I don't got no contact visits. I don't got none of that going on, man. So like I came out kind of like, you know what, man, I gotta get some money. I'm like, there's no reason that I can't get no money, man. Like usually something always fall in my lap and I'll be able to get to the bag. Now, when I came in there, the dudes that I knew in that joint, they ain't really had no motion, man. They ain't had no motion, man. But one dude in there I used to rock with, man, real crazy, man. We're going to call him Tay, man. Now, Tay was a cool dude. He wanted the same things I wanted to: get money, stay out the way, keep getting the la-la. Like he wanted those things too, but like he didn't really have the opportunity. You know what I mean? The opportunity fall in the great one's lap. Sometimes it don't always fall in people's laps, and you gotta get it from the rough, man. But Tay always wanted to get some money, man. Like he was one of them dudes that even when he score some la, he's definitely selling a la. Like he always trying to make $1, and that's just what he do. So when I came in the pod, I was already familiar with him from when I was next door. I had met him when I was next door, and me and him had a good friendship. But when I came over there, it was like I felt like he was happy because the dudes that was over there, he wasn't really rocking with too tough. So me and bro started rocking. You know, he broke down everything to me that was going on in the pod. He told me who was doing this and who was doing what, and everybody was straight. You know what I mean? The whole pod was either gambling or trying to get some money. It wasn't a lot of violence going on at the time. I mean, people will fight, but there wasn't a lot of stuff going on. Of course, the red team is in there crazy heavy at this particular moment, man. But like, even with them, there wasn't no drama at the particular moment, man. So the whole time, Tay was just giving me the game about what's going on in that joint, man. And then he introduced me to this dude that he was talking about that was potentially as a sack bringer. Now, when you meet somebody that's a potential sack bringer, man, like you want to find out some specifics, man, because you don't really need nothing to go wrong. Like this is before the cell phone era, y'all. Like we don't even have a jack. I mean, people probably had one or two up there, but at the moment, I'm not thinking about a cell phone. All business get conducted from that wall phone, which is maniac, but that's the only way we could do it. So like, I'm just trying to figure out like the right things before I even try to put a play together with this guy he introduced me to. Now, the guy he introduced me to, we're going to call him Lil Mike. Now, Lil Mike wasn't from Norfolk, but he was from Tidewater. I'm not going to say what city he was from, but he was a guy that was, you know, like he was a regular dude in there. Like when I came in there and met him, he didn't come off with clown qualities. You know what I mean? His qualities didn't look like he was on some clown stuff, but like he was like one of them little short brown skinned dudes, had the little waves. You know, like he was quiet, like he wasn't on nothing like that. You know, he used to run around trying to find a la. He wasn't really doing too much, man. But when bro came and told me, like when I moved in the pod, bro was like, yo, I'm glad you moved over here, bro. He was like, because dude trying to bring the pack, he was like, I was just in talks with him, man. He was like, but if you trying to get in the car, then you know, I know you be getting it. So I'm like, who? So like, I was like, I just got in the pod. So I'm like, this is crazy. So he like, yeah, he tell me to do. So I'm like, look, man, let me meet him. You know what I mean? So he brought him over there, and that's when me and Lil Mike had first met. And that's why I said I didn't get clown qualities off him, man. But he seemed like he was all right dude. We talked. So I like asked him where he was from. He told me, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, bro, you don't mind me asking who be bringing the pot for you? So he was like, yeah, my sister be bringing the joint for me. I'm like, oh, for real? He like, yeah, my sister bring the joint for me. He was like, but for real though, I can't get nothing right now. You know what I mean? He was like, he was like, but for real, she ain't got no money to buy me nothing to bring it in. You know what I mean? He was like, now if somebody gets something, I can get it. Cause she know how to bring it. She used to bring it for her boyfriend that was locked up. So I'm like, for real? He was like, yeah. So he was breaking all that down. It sounded like he was a good professional sack bringer. Pause. Like I know y'all be like, pause, sack bringer. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about, basically. He sounded like this wasn't going to be no BS. He sounded like this could potentially be some good business. Now, I was just moving in the block, and I started telling myself, like, yo, like, still, though, I ain't going to rush into this. You know what I mean? I moved in there on a fresh Tuesday. Now, if I can make it happen before the weekend, and we can end up striking by the weekend, then that can be a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? It can be a beautiful thing because at the end of the day, though, like, I'm just getting out the hole. I definitely need some more stuff. I don't have a lot of stuff right now. When you get out the hole, you always kind of starting over. Like, you might have some stuff in your locker that you got packed up when you went to the hole, but you want fresh stuff. You want to refresh your stuff. You don't want to eat a bunch of old honey buns and stuff like that. So like, I'm definitely like banking on trying to get this pack, but I told myself still though, like, man, you know what, man, like crawl before you walk. Let's basically scope out the scene before you do anything, y'all. So boom. So I had told Tay, you know what I mean? Tay was kind of like, you know, like Tay gave like a big brother role to this guy. And I know that's why the dude Lil Mike was kind of rocking with Tay, because Tay was like a kind of diesel dude, you know what I mean? Kind of tall, bald head dude. Like he ain't really like, I haven't seen him fight, but I'm pretty sure he can, you know what I mean? Like he hasn't been in no activities that I seen him fight. He hasn't been in no altercations where I seen him fighting, but I already know that bro mean business. Now the dude Lil Mike, like he used to kind of like rock with bro, like that's his big bro. You know what I mean? Like that's his big bro, and he won't even from Norfolk, but that's how he used to rock with the dude Tay. So when I had went upstairs to my cell, in this part I slept in cell 27. I think I was in cell 27. I can't even remember what cell I was in, but I was on the top tier. But when I went in the cell, my roommate was cool. I had a cool roommate, man. And me and him used to kick it. And when I came up there, he had some la-la. He ended up hitting the la-la with me, and that's what kind of relaxed me a little bit, and I was just able to really think straight. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, this is wild that a play just fell in my lap this fast. But I'm not going to rush to nothing. You know what I mean? I'm going to ask around and see what's good. I haven't even been outside rec yet. So that's what I was waiting on. So a little bit later on, they end up calling 2 o'clock rec. So I go outside for the first time. I just been in a hole over 60 days. So I go outside, seen a bunch of dudes with 4D that was still over there. A couple of my homeboys hollered at them. You know what I mean? I bumped into a dude that was from Lil Mike City. You know what I mean? Like I knew a dude from his city. So I pulled up on him. I was like, yo, you know dude right there? So he was like, who? I was like, the little short brown skin dude. He was like, I mean, I don't know him, but I heard him from out the way, but I don't talk to him. I was like, why you don't talk to him? He's like, 'cause I don't know him. So like dudes weren't even messing with Lil Mike like that. But still though, he was from their city. But I was like, yeah, I was asking though, man, because bro was trying to make a play. I was just trying to make sure. He was like, oh, he make plays. I'm like, yeah. So you think I should, you know what I mean? He was like, what you got to lose? I was like, you're right. So I was just asking just to see, just to kind of see what was going on. Like I wasn't trying to like put all my eggs in one basket, man. But you know, after talking to bro, I felt a little bit more easy about it. So I haven't even got on the phone to call my peoples to let them know that I was even out the hole. So I went to the phone when we came back from rec, man. We ended up coming back from rec. I hopped on the jack as soon as we got back. I called my peoples to let everybody know that I was out the hole, everything was straight. Then I got my mama to call my man on 3-way. And that's when I told my man, like, yo, bro, listen, I might have a potential play. You know what I mean? He was like, bro, listen, you called right on time, man. My homeboy, man, I love him to death. He was like, man, you called right on time. You called right on time, bro. Cause look, my people's just he was like, man, cause my cousin has got some new mid in, bro. He was like, yo, this junk so lime. He was like, it's lime, but like a dark lime, bro. He was like, this junk good, bro. He was like, you can get a way to get it. He said, bro, listen, bro, I can definitely look out. I'm like, what you mean definitely look out? He was like, that junk that you know how you use, like, you know how you usually just get a zip? I'm like, yeah. He was like, I can probably pack a little more and still say it's a zip. You know what I mean? Like, you can still be like that because the way I compress it. But he was like, bro, you need to get with me. I said, well, look, though, I gotta play. I mean, I said, yo, it's in this city right here, which ain't far from us. I was like, but, like, I just met, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He was like, I'm saying, you official? I'm like, bro, I just want to try him out with a zip. You know what I mean? He was like, yo, bro, look, man. He was like, I'm going to send you something decent in there, bro. He's like, it could be 2 zips. I was like, 2 zips? He was like, yeah. He was like, I'm telling you, bro, I got a compressor machine. He was like, I know how to compress the junk now. You know what I mean? He was like, I run it over with the tire, then I compress it real good. He was like, 1 zip, he said 2 zips can look like 1 zip. I'm telling you, man. He said maybe 3 zips can look like 1 zip. I'm like, whoa. I said, cause bro going to the VI, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, and for real, goddamn, you know, he got down going with the cheat game. You know what I mean? Pardon me, I meant to say that though. Y'all already know when it goes in the tutor, I don't get jiggy with it. Like I can't get jiggy with it, y'all. So boom. But I had to let bro know, like, oh, don't make it too crazy because bro going with the cheat game, which is like really impossible with Sussex too. Which like a lot of people are magicians. I used to know a dude from Newport News that used to go get it like that with the cheat game easy. Like, but I'm saying like the swallow game used to be easy because like it's like Fort Knox in there, but you got some people that's magicians. So I told bro to keep it junk. Don't make it too crazy. You know what I mean? Don't make it too crazy, but just be on standby. So I had talked to him. It felt good. I hang up with him. When I hang up with him, I found Tay. I was like, yo, Tay. Tay see me. I'm like, hey, bro, look. I said, what dude that? He was like, man, he right there. Now the dude, Lil Mike, slept in cell 4. Now, cell 4 was right there on the bottom tier, a little bit close to the booth. You know, it's 1, 2, 3. So if 4 wasn't too far from the booth. So I was like, look. I said, man, listen, man, we can make the play, man. I was like, but what you gonna want out the deal? He was like, man, I'm trying to put something in there. He was like, the only thing I need from you is to tell your peoples, man, get something for my peoples. He was like, my peoples ain't got no lala. I was like, don't worry about the lala. I was like, my man said he got a missile and, you know what I mean, he gonna play fair. So I was like, don't worry about the lala. I was like, what you trying to get in there? He was like, man, I'm trying to throw an 8-ball of Hardy's chicken in that joint. I'm like, oh, all right, that's what's up. I'm like, that's what's up, then. Let's make it happen. I was like, look, my man to go pick it up. I was like, well, your people's at such and such out in Norfolk, right? He was like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tell my man to go get it. We'll make the play. So he's like, all right, that's a bet. So he's like, I'm about to go holler at bro. So I let him go over there and holler at Mike. Mike came out. They was standing by his cell. They was having a conversation. I seen Mike standing there listening, like, you know what I mean? And then he pointed over like at me, like, yo, look, man, Weezy. I guess he was telling him, like, yo, bro gonna make it happen. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's what's up, man. Like, so I didn't even have to go over there. Like, you know what I mean? I went back over where I was standing there by the old heads watching TV. But I just, something just told me to go over there. You know what I mean? So I finally walk over there. They were still talking. I'm like, what's up? Everything straight? I was like, yeah, I'm trying to make it happen, bro, this weekend, bro. Mike was like, yeah, everything's straight. He was like, we just got to make sure my sister available. You know, I was like, man, look, to make sure everything's straight, get on the phone, because my people's going to be ready to go as soon as I give them the heads up, bro. As soon as I give them the thumbs up. You know what I mean? So he was like, all right, I'm going to get on the phone. So he went and hopped on the phone. He talked to his sister. You could tell he was talking to somebody. He sat down on the floor. He was using the jack. It looked like a great conversation. He got off the phone. He came up to me. He was like, yo, look, what's your people's number? He was like, when I call back later, I'm going to give her the number. Then, you know what I mean? They can go from there. I'm like, that's a bet, bro. So, you know, I told Tay over to play. Told Tay, make sure he let his peoples know that my people's going to be getting at him. And everybody going, you know what I mean? We're going to combine like Voltron and then a pack going to come through. So everything was looking smooth, man. I'm telling y'all, like, y'all be thinking I'm welling, man. Like for real, man, I was a magnet for the package, man. I was a magnet for the routes. I'm telling you, like they would just pop up. I just moved in a pod. And this junk just fell in my lap, man. You know why? Because I'm a magnet for the routes, y'all. So boom. So far, so good. Everything is going smooth. I done holler at my man. I done hollered at Tay. Tay done hollered at the dude, Lil Mike. Lil Mike looking like everything straight. So I have went through so many people that I got the sack before. Like, you can never say that the sack is here until it's here, sitting in your face, and you're looking at it like, yes, he made it through, because anything can go wrong. And that's just how I be. But at a time like this, like meeting somebody like that's gonna move this pack and do all this, like I don't really feel like this is gonna go wrong. You know what I mean? It can't go wrong. So everything was looking up and up. Mike was happy, I was happy, Tay was happy, everybody was chilling, you know what I mean? Tay was like, yo, when I get my job, I'm gonna do this and do that. I'm like, yeah, bro. I was like, I'm gonna throw you some Hottie's chicken. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, my man say for real that junk will be healthy, bro. He's like, I was like, for real, when he drop off, I'm gonna ask him what he send me. I was like, cause I ain't gonna try to like put a number on what he gonna send me. I'm just gonna let him send me what he send me. I said, because he said he can compress 2 into 1. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I know he ain't gonna do 2, but I was like, I'm just gonna see what he gonna give me. So another day I went by, I had called my man. I'm like, yo, you gonna get with bro girl? He was like, I'm supposed to be meeting her tomorrow, which was on Thursday, bro, going over Saturday. So he was like, I'm doing that for she could have time to kind of like fix it up the way she need to do or whatever the case. So I'm like, yo, bro, look, by the way, like, what you giving me though if I can know? He was like, oh, I put a 1.5 zips in that joint, Weezy. I'm like, for real, bro? He was like, yeah, bro, there's a lot of grams in that joint, bro. He was like, this tell dude is a zip. I'm like, shh, you a maniac, crazy Vato. But I like that though. I like that, y'all. So boom, the 1.5 zips sounded great. You know what I mean? Bro gonna have to give me the pack. You know what I mean? It's my pack. Like, Lil Mike gotta understand, give me the pack. I'm gonna go break it down and give him what he deserves. Like, you know, I ain't gonna play him dirty, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna give him a 1/2 zip. I'm gonna give him a 1/2 zip. I'm walking away with a zip. That's what I'm walking away with. So like, you know, it wasn't his business to know all of that. I know that's petty, but like, this is penitentiary, man. I told you, I ain't no rules in this shit, man. So I'm feeling great about this shit. My man sending me a 1.5 zips. You know what I mean? I just ran into a route. I'm doing good. So like, I'm chilling. I'm chilling in the jump, man. It's my word. I'm telling dudes, couple dudes, like, yo, look, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Soon, I'm on soon. Dudes like, oh, all right, holler at me, Weezy. I'm like, all right, that's a bet. So when Friday came around, so Thursday I rolled around. When Thursday rolled around, he had got on the phone with his sister. He told me his sister had met my bro. So he was like, yo, touchdown, bro. So I'm like, that's a bet. So I didn't even call my man until Friday. You know what I mean? Tay had got down. Tay had hollered at his peoples, and I already knew my man was going to get at his peoples, and Tay stuff was in there too. So Tay was feeling good. Tay was on cloud 9 because when that Hardy's chicken come in, like, dudes gonna know they gonna make money. You gonna make commissary and you gonna make big plays. Like, you gonna make big plays. A dude that want the Hardy's chicken, you might be like, yo, I got $50 in food. Yes, let me get that. You got $50 in food, let me get that, man. So like, I already knew Tay was expecting this jump crazy. It's like I was expecting my whole zip, basically. I was expecting this jump, man. So Friday, we basically was just, you know what I mean, in relax mode, man. Friday was relax mode because Saturday was gonna be the day he was going to get the joint. You know what I mean? So everybody chilling. There wasn't nothing really like spectacular going on. It wasn't even like, this was the time when like NBA was done. It's like right when the summer about to come, matter of fact. Like, this is like around, not this time right here, I'll say like June, the middle of June or something like this. But it's hot outside and there's no sports on for real, man. Like, I think the only thing that was on to watch was tennis. So it's like one of them days. But like, still though, I'm in cruise control, man. I'm in there jump on TBS. I mean, I got a pack coming through this weekend. So I just chilled the whole day. You know what I mean? So when the afternoon came, I hear a knock at my door. I'm like, yo, I look. It was Tay. Tay came to the door. He was like, what's up? You ain't coming out? I was like, I'm chilling, man. He was like, you waiting on that Lala? I was like, of course, bro. Like, I ain't got that right now, bro. I'm chilling. Like, you already know the count. He was like, yeah, I know, bro. He was like, yeah, hey, look. He was like, man, Lil Mike happy too, though, man. Because he was like, he love that Lala like you too. He was like, I like the Lala. He was like, but still, I like to get money, Weezy. I'm like, yeah. I was like, get my door open, bro. So bro got my door open. I put my shoes on, you know what I mean? I stepped out. We was front of the jump. First lady was like, y'all gotta come downstairs. So we shoot down on the bottom tier. So we downstairs, me and bro just kicking it, you know what I mean? Like, just watching Lil Mike. Nothing looked suspicious at all. Like, bro was just a regular dude. Like, he really didn't do no hot stuff, no crazy stuff, or nothing like that. Like, I didn't even see him like promising people he was gonna get to work or nothing. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing nothing. He just was keeping everything regular. When I seen him, he was sitting at the table watching the dudes play chess. So I'm like, yo, bro, listen, man. I was like, man, you think he could be able to handle all that, bro? He was like, man, look, bro. He was like, man, I'm telling you, man. He was like, when we was at receiving, bro, he was bringing the jump back at Mecklenburg. You know what I mean? He was like, man, he can bring the jump back, bro. Like, I mean, yeah, he can do it. I'm like, man, I'm just hoping bro make it through. Because if he don't, you know what I mean? Like, that jump will be crazy, man. He was like, man, who don't make it through, Weezy? Everybody always make it through. So I'm like, you right. I ain't gonna put no jinx on it, you know what I mean? I even did this knock on wood game, you know what I mean? Let's just relax and wait for this pack to show up, man. That's all we gotta do. So he like, that's a bet. So me and bro just kicked it for the rest of the day. They called dinner. We went to dinner. We ate dinner. We came back, chilled for a little bit more. It was lockdown time, man. So like the day was going like this, which we was happy because we want Friday to go by fast because we waiting on something for Saturday. So Saturday finally happened. Saturday came around. Promise you, man, I woke up early in the morning feeling refreshed. I look, I see Lil Mike getting in the shower, you know what I mean? This is what dudes do when they get ready to go to visit. So I'm like, yeah, you going ready to go. So I look, seen Tate. Tate was in the pod working out. You know what I mean? He was doing push-ups on the floor. He was doing pull-ups from the stairs. You know what I mean? So I walked over there. What did we move to CL20s? I was like, bro, what's up, bro? I was like, today to day. He was like, I know. I was like, yeah, bro, we gonna get some money today, boy. You know what I mean? He was like, I know, man. He was like, for real, Weezy. He was like, look, man, let me give you something for some la-la. I was like, bro, I'm gonna give you some la-la. Bro, I said, you brought the route. I said, bro, I'm gonna throw you about an eighth. You already know that on the house. He was like, I said, now you gonna throw me a little bit of that Hardy's chicken too? He was like, man, go ahead. I was like, no, I'm joking with you. I said, nah, you gonna throw me at least a dub, bro. I said, you know, I can make a lot of wheel and deal moves with that junk, man. He was like, yeah, you know I'm gonna play flip. So me and him was just laughing, joking. So I was like, go ahead and finish working out. So he finished working out. So I went and sat on the bench, you know what I mean? And I was chilling. I'm just chilling there, man. I just went and sat on the bench and I was chilling. And I'm looking at the TV, you know what I mean? I'm watching the TV. And then I look, 10:30 was getting close. 10:30 is the time that we locked down. So when I look, I seen Lil Mike still standing by his cell talking to this dude drinking some coffee. He's dressed to get ready to go to VI, but like, you know what I mean? He hasn't been called yet. So I looked over at him. He's still over there kicking it. So I'm like, he must be going out to count. You know what I mean? So ladies said, lock down for count. Lock down for count. Everybody lock down for count. Everybody lock down. So everybody getting their stuff, last minute stuff together. You know what I mean? Everybody going in the cell. So he went in the cell. I went in the cell and chilled, watched some TV. When count was clear, you know what I mean? We on standby for child. So when we came out, I looked. Mike was still downstairs, you know what I mean? I still ain't paying no mind because people can go to visit at any time. So when we went to child, he didn't go to child with us. Sausage 2 don't have nothing exclusive for Saturday meals anyway for lunch. Like, it ain't like Lawrenceville with the bologna sandwich game. Like, you don't get that. You know what I mean? We used to get the bologna, I think, hopefully on bologna on lockdown time. That's the only time we used to get it. Plus, when you had no microwave to fry that joint. You could fry it on a pencil, though, like you fry your sausage. You know what I mean? But at the same time, ain't no good stuff over there on the weekends with Sussex too. So I had just walked over there just from the strength to get some air and I was up. So when we come back from the jump, Mike is still in the pod. We like, yo, man. So when I seen that, I looked at the clock. I mean, we still got 2 hours. You know what I mean? You still got 2 hours and change before the visit I think the visit was over at 2. So you still got some time, man. You know what I mean? So I ain't want to like, you know what I mean, jinx it or nothing like that. So just standing there, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm crazy, man. So as the time just kept going, it was like the clock was going so fast on this day, y'all. I'm not even gonna joke with y'all. It seemed like the hands on the clock, because we got the little old school clock that sit like right over top of the TV. Man, it looked like the hands on the clock was moving so fast. It looked like the hands on the clock was moving so fast. I looked up, it's 1 o'clock. I'm like, 1 o'clock. Looked over at Mike. Mike's still standing there like, he just waiting for his name to get called. So that's when I was just like, man, I came down the steps sad, y'all. I came down the steps like this. You ain't gone yet, Mike? He was like, nah. I was like, bro, see what happened, bro? Make sure everything's straight. He was like, he walked to the phone. No answer game, you know what I mean? He was like, no answer. Like, no answer. Like, yeah. Like, man, no answer. Like, that junk crazy. Look, they Tate, Tate was like, man, people's might be already up there. Like, yeah, she might be already up there. So with no answer, none of that, you know what I mean? Bro, gotta be getting ready to get called because it's people's with an answer. So we just chill for a little bit more, you know what I mean? Chill for a little bit more. So we looked up, lady said, exit out for rec. I was so sick that he hasn't went yet. I didn't even know she said stand by for rec. Man, the lady said exit out for rec. Man, so bro still in here. They call exit out for rec. Everybody go outside. I didn't go outside. I stayed in. You know what I mean? Tay stayed in. We was like, yo, we gotta see what's going on. We're like, that junk crazy. You know what I mean? So we were just waiting, you know what I mean? Mike still waiting. So next thing you know, man, visitation is over with. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Visitation was a wrap, man. Like, it's either in at 2 or either in at 3. It's one of the two, man. But it was a wrap. It was no more visits coming in. We was like, yo, what's going on, bro? This junk crazy, man. Like, yo, what is going on, bro? Like, yo, Mike was like, oh no. I called her, she ain't answering. I'm like, shh. Like, man, I knew this was too good to be true, man. Like, I went from being on cloud 9 to cloud 3, y'all. So boom. Knew it was too good to be true, man. I was like, I started pouting. I'm like, man, hey T, come on, man. What's up, T, man? It's your man. He's like, man, look, they gonna get called. They gonna call. Da, 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 da. I'm like, man, it's just wild, man. So when Rhett came back, everybody was in the pod. Dudes like, Weezy, what's up? I'm like, bro, ain't nothing jumping, B. I hit him with the camera on jump. Man, ain't nothing jumping right now, B. I ain't got nothing right now, baby. Nothing right now. You know what I mean? Like, I was angry. Man. I ain't have a pack, man. And this man didn't get called for visit. He keep dialing the number. No answer. He's standing over by the phone, dialing the number. No answer. Dialing the number, no answer. Nobody's answering for this guy. Like, man, what's going on, man? It was like, yo, this junk whack, man. He was like, man, shh, junk crazy, man. I was like, bro, try again, bro. You know what I mean? He got on the phone. He was like, he called again. He hopped on the jack. He was like, you could tell how he jumped that she answered. He was like, hey. He called his sister name. Where you at? You good? John got quiet. He was like, shh. He put the phone down like this. He was like, man, she said she got pulled over way before she got down here, man. And the police found the stuff in her car.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.